Hi guys, it's me, Susan. It's day 114 of the Cancer Club. I'm happy to see you. It's a Tuesday evening, February 25th. For those of you who have been paying close attention, I did say last Friday when I posted that I would be posting last night on the 24th. Last night was the 4th anniversary of my husband Mike's passing in 2010. And it was my intention to do that. But I found myself having a lot of pretty strong emotions. I was kind of taken by surprise, and I went out to the restaurant that every year I invite his son and his ex-wife, who are their Cameron's parents, and Cameron, to go and join me at this little Mexican hole-in-the-wall that Mike and I used to eat at least 3 or 4 times a week back in the day before he got sick. So we go there as kind of an old time's sake kind of thing. And as I was getting ready to go over there, I found myself really missing him and needing him. I think partly I'm going through a decision process about choosing a realtor to list I'm selling the house that we bought together at the Lake McQueenie. And it feels like a big decision. It's kind of a lot of money, and since it's a kind of specialty market, houses sometimes sit on the market for a long time out there. Anyway, it was a big decision. It's the first really huge decision I've had to make without him. I mean, I've had little ones, getting plumbing done and stuff like that, but nothing really big. And I think I was really missing the feeling of having a partner and somebody who's invested in the issue that you're trying to decide, and who is in it with you. Not just, Tigid was really great about it, and was very helpful in terms of some suggestions about the decision, but I was missing. I was married to Mike for 25 years. That's a long time. We did everything together and decided everything together, and he was a really good decider. He would sleep on things, and then the next day he would get up and have an answer. He said, and that's one of the things I'm going to read to you. Anyway, I learned a lot from him. So I put on one of his shirts to wear to the restaurant. I was like really in this state of mind. It's very odd. I wasn't weepy or anything. I was just feeling kind of vulnerable and kind of overwhelmed. So when I got home, I just wasn't in any condition to post. But then, oddly enough, and I did, I went to sleep. I woke up this morning and I felt really good. I felt like I had passed through some kind of process of almost like growing up. I still miss him, but I felt more able to make the decision about the house. I felt more centered, less like dependent. I don't know, like I needed somebody else to tell me what to do, or less lonely, even though I don't, I'm still alone. But it was just a weird, it felt like I hatched overnight. Like I hatched. This came out of this egg, and like I'm a grown-up or something. I know it's very odd, and it doesn't mean I can't. That's what I spend my days doing, is helping people hatch. But it was kind of nice to feel like I really understand that process on a deeper level. But anyway, what I had told you I wanted to talk to you about and explain to you, or at least describe to you, when Mike passed away, we had a party, and I wrote a list of the top 10 things that I learned from him. We called him Crawdad. That was because when Cameron was born, he didn't want to be called Grandpa or Gramps or any of those grand kind of names. I was Grandma Susie, but he didn't want to be a grandpa. So we thought, and we finally came up with the name Crawdad, which really stuck, and that's what everybody calls him to this day. But anyway, I wanted to quickly run through some of these, and there's a little bit of elaboration on each one, and maybe over time I will go back to some of them that seem pretty meaningful, if there's any of them you want me to talk more about. But I thought some of these things were things I learned from him, but not necessarily things he did himself. he didn't exemplify these concepts, all of them anyway. Some of them he did, but some of them I learned it by watching him not do this. So anyway, number 10, do what you say you're going to do, and if you can't do it, tell the person why ahead of time and apologize. And a corollary to that is don't make promises you can't keep. It was very, very important to him. That was one of the things he did believe in. Number 9, and this I learned a lot because I wasn't taught this as a child. Take care of your possessions and they will take care of you. For example, hang up your clothes as soon as you take them off. Service your car regularly. Keep your house and yard clean. Cover your boat and put stuff away. Cabinets, for instance. When I first met Mike, I would walk away from a cabinet, leaving the cabinet door open. And after a while, the house looks kind of like a wreck. And he would remind me, and now I always remember to do that. Put stuff away. Okay, number 8. Always be on time. Corollary, allow extra time when you have to be somewhere in case you have a flat tire. These days you don't hear very much about people having flat tires, but back in the day, you could have a flat tire and that would take a long time. They didn't have roadside assistance. You just had to get out and jack up your car or wait till somebody could help you. But he would always say being on time was extremely important to him. And for instance, when I first got married to him and we were going to leave for the airport, and he would say, we need to leave at 8 o'clock. Okay? I didn't know, coming from my kind of casual background, you know, at about 5 after 8, I'm just like finishing getting all my stuff together, and I'm thinking, this is cool, I'm really good, it's 5 after 8. I did not know that leave at 8 o'clock means your butt is in the car at 5 to 8. Okay, so that's what I learned, and that's what I do now. And you set the departure time for 8, even though you're going to get there pretty early, because you never know what's going to happen, and that's come in handy many times. See, he was a really practical guy, and sometimes he could almost be obnoxious about making these points, but they were all excellent points, and when you didn't do them, you felt like he was right. Okay, number 7. Take the 5 or 10 minutes needed to fix some little thing right now, instead of letting it keep bothering you and taking up your time forever. You walk by, I notice I do this, you walk by something in your house and you think, I've got to clean that. It was a vent. There was one time it was a vent in the air conditioning vent in my bathroom had dust and everything on it. And I would keep looking up there, and every day when I would do my hair, I'd see it, and I've got to clean that. I must have thought that, I've got to clean that vent at least 100 times, probably more, probably for more than 6 months. You know, I did, and then I'll have to do it next day, then I forget, next day. Finally, go get the little step stool and clean the stupid vent. And now I look at it and it's great. But that kind of thing where you see something over and over again, you think, I've got to deal with that, but you never do it at the moment. The thing I learned from him is do it now and get it over with. Then you don't cross it off your list. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Okay, number 6. And this was one from last night. If you have to make a decision, be sure to sleep on it until you are completely comfortable with the pros and cons. And as a corollary, if you're not completely comfortable, you need to sleep on it some more. And that really works. Try that. It just, if you don't know what to do yet, it means you're not ready to make your decision. Number 5, don't be so concerned with what other people think that you stop being yourself and you stop trying to have the life that you want. And a corollary to this is the judgmental people are hypocrites. And I believe that very strongly, even when I happen to be one of them. And Mike was sometimes judgmental too. But to realize that when you worry so much about what other people are going to think, you're basically letting them, or your fantasy about them, you might don't even know what they're going to think, but you're letting that control your life. And that's you doing that. So you're responsible for giving away your life and your freedom to choose. Number 4, this one was really important, and I learned a lot about this from him. Don't just wish for things. Start thinking about them, start making phone calls, start researching, and you will immediately start moving towards your goal. Perfect example, and this is something where Tigid helped me, me thinking about someday I want to play the banjo, someday, I want to take banjo lessons, maybe when I retire, maybe when I have more time. I love banjo music, someday I'm going to play the banjo. And I never did, until finally somebody, and if I had gone on and on about it to Mike, he probably would have said the same thing, although I don't know that he would have liked me playing the banjo all the time in the house, but anyway. Where's the banjo? You know, shut up and start doing something about it. Okay, number 3. If you expect too much of people, you will be chronically disappointed, but you still should challenge them to do better if they're slacking. And that's something I learned from watching Mike not do it. He always expected too much of people, everyone. And so he was always kind of mad about that. And I always felt sad that he did that, because I think that created a lot of unhappiness for him. However, the other side of that was good is he, you know, if excuses really don't do anybody very much good. And if you're not doing what you say you're going to do, or you're not fulfilling, I don't know, reasonable expectations, you need to be accountable to yourself and to other people. Number 2. Thinking about what might go wrong is not negative, it's just part of thorough planning and preparation. And I think that's true. I think if you're dwelling on what's wrong to the point where you don't do anything, that's negative. But trying to troubleshoot in advance and be prepared, he was very, very good at that, and I'm glad I learned that from him. Number 1, if you show a personal interest in people and try to do something for them if you can, they will remember you, and they will go out of their way to help you if they can. Crawdad was great at that. Everyone he came in contact with, I remember at the hospital, he was in the hospital numerous times, and we would get him checked in, and I would maybe go downstairs to get some coffee or something, and I'd come back in 5 minutes. He already knew the nurses, not just her name. He knew about her family, he knew about her husband, he knew about her kids. They were laughing and joking, and he remembered things about people, and I think it made them feel respected and cared about, instead of kind of treating them like, I don't know, like servants, or like just people that weren't very important. And he did that. He had many, many people that, and I learned about some of them even after he passed, that were felt very appreciated by him, and appreciated him a great deal. So those are the things I learned from Crawdad, and among many things. And I do feel grateful for having had such a long marriage, and I learned even a lot from his illness and his passing. I certainly, you know, I'm not happy that happened that way, but it just was part of a great education in life that I'm now using to go on and go forward and continue to take responsibility and make my life the way I want it. And a lot of that I learned from him. So it was a little longer tonight because I had to read through all of those for you, and I hope those were somewhat useful to you, some food for thought perhaps. And I will see you again soon. And in the meantime, please remember to live well, laugh often, and love much. And I'll see you soon on the Cancer Club. Okay, bye now.